Yeah.
I'd like to call everyone's attention to get the regular council meeting of November 28th, 2022, call it to order. I would also like to defer the chair of today's meeting over to Deputy Mayor Christian Laughlin. I've got a bit of a cold. I'm tested negative, but I'm wearing a mask to protect you from me. So my voice isn't going to last, so I will turn over chairing the meeting to Deputy Mayor Laughlin.
All right, thank you, Mayor Bosiak. Before we do get started, we do want to acknowledge that the land on which we gather is Treaty 2 land, traditional territory of Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Assiniboine, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and homeland of the Métis Nation. And we affirm our commitment to moving forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in a spirit of collaboration and reconciliation. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Ray. Be it resolved that Council accepts the regular Council meeting agenda as presented. Questions or comments there before we move forward? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Sobering, seconded by Councillor Daly. Be it resolved that Council waives the reading and accepts and approves as circulated the minutes of the following meetings. The inaugural Council meeting held on November 7th and the regular Council meeting on November 14th. Any questions or comments anyone wants to make on those minutes? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Ray. Whereas the Municipal Act, Section 160(2) states each member of the council must attend the public hearing unless the member A is excused by other members from attending the hearing, B is unable to attend owing to illness, or C is required under the Municipal Council Conflict of Interest Act to withdraw from the hearing. So be it resolved that no members of council will be excused from this hearing. So I'll call the questions there. We don't need to move it? Okay. We will move on. Moved by Councillor Sobering, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Be it resolved that council now adjourns to hear the public hearings as scheduled. Call the questions there. All in favor? Motion carried. Council will now commence to hear representations from the applicants and any other persons who wish to make a presentation for the scheduled public hearings under the Planning Act. Anyone who has not yet registered but wishes to make a presentation for the public hearings, please state your name so we can add you to our registration list. For item 4A, number 1, the conditional use application for 434 First Avenue Northeast, we have registered ICL General Construction, care of Ian Layton, owner and applicant. And for item 4A, number 2, variance application for 136 Boston's Avenue, registered, we have Susan Ament, owner and applicant. So we're all good there. Yes. We will move now to item 4A, number 1. We will obviously proceed with the public hearing for conditional use application 12.04.16490/CU-22-01/04 for owner and applicant ICL General Construction, care of Ian Layton, for lot 8/9, block 83, plan 379 DLTO. That is again 434 First Avenue Northeast, and that is to allow for a contractor's establishment use in a commercial central zone to comply with the City of Dauphin's zoning bylaw. Would the applicant like to speak in favor of the application? It's up to you. No, if you want to speak, you can totally just turn the mic on. If not, I can keep going. Keep rolling.
I don't know. We're just trying to make her a better town. Get some contractors in here who get stuff done, and that's all I got. It's a nice shop. It will be very nice. We're going from there.
Perfect. Does council have any questions of the applicant? Councillor Bellemare.
Yes, I'm curious how long you've been in town and what areas of construction you like to work on.
She's going to be 2 years December. And we do from the ground up, fire and flood restoration to give other companies a little run for their money. And yeah, whatever comes our way, from commercial buildings to residential buildings to flood and fire.
Sounds like you guys do it all.
We're very busy, yes.
Okay. Well, welcome. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from council? Okay, is there any other person present in support of this application who wishes to speak? And is there any person present who wishes to speak in objection to this application? And the representations for the public hearing are now completed. It's that easy. Thank you very much for coming. We'll move now to the public hearing for variance application 12.04.1920/VO-22-01/02 for owner and applicant Susan Ament for lot 17 and 18, block 4, plan 399 DLTO, that's 136 Boston's Avenue, to vary the rear yard setback from 1.5 meters, that's 4.92 feet, to 0.609 meters, that's 2 feet, to allow for construction of a 20-foot by 28-foot detached garage on an existing concrete slab foundation in a residential single-family zone to comply with the City of Dauphin zoning bylaw. Would the applicant like to speak in favor of the application? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Does council have any questions of the applicant? Councillor Bellemare.
I see you're in the middle of a block too. So, because I was just looking in terms of visibility,
Mhm.
because sometimes when you're closer to a corner or something, that space can make a difference for people seeing traffic and stuff, but. Okay. Thank you for asking him.
Okay, is there any other questions from council before we move on? Seeing none, is there any other person present in support of this application who wishes to speak? And is there anyone who wishes to speak in objection to this application? And I guess the representations for the public hearing are now completed. Thank you very much for coming. Yes, it's that easy. I've got the deliberate or decision here, but I think, does any other councillors have any questions or comments before we make the decision? Does anyone wish to deliberate? No? Okay. All right. Good. Do I need to move this motion? This one? Okay. So moved by Councillor Sobering, seconded by Councillor Ray. We're going to say that we approve both applications. Okay. Keep rolling. Oh, that's right. Sorry, it is. Yeah, you're right. Okay. All in favor? Motion carried. Okay. Moved by Councillor Daly, seconded by Councillor Sobering. Be it resolved that council now reconvenes to the regular council meeting. Thank you guys very much for coming. And I'll call the questions there. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Daly. Be it resolved that the public hearing for conditional use application 12.04.16490/CU-22-01/04 for owner applicant ICL General Construction, care of Ian Layton, for lots 8 and 9, block 83, plan 379 DLTO. That is 434 First Avenue Northeast, to allow for a contractor's establishment use in a commercial central zone to comply with the City of Dauphin zoning bylaw, be now concluded. Any final questions or comments there? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. And moved by Councillor Sobering, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Be it resolved that the public hearing for variance application 12.04.1920/VO-22-01/02 for owner and applicant Susan Ament for lots 17 and 18, block 4, plan 399 DLTO, Again, that's 136 Boston's Avenue to vary the rear yard setback from 1.5 meters to 0.609 meters to allow for construction of a 20-foot by 28-foot detached garage on an existing concrete slab foundation in a residential single-family zone to comply with the City of Dauphin zoning bylaw be now concluded. Any final questions or comments there? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Daly, seconded by Councillor Sobering. Whereas due notice was given with respect to conditional use application 12.04.16490/CU-22-01/04, and whereas no objections were received to said application, so be it resolved that the conditional use application for owner and applicant ICL General Construction care of Ian Layton for 434 First Avenue Northeast to allow for a contractor's establishment use in a commercial central zone to comply with the City of Dauphin zoning bylaw be approved with the following conditions. Number one, the applicant obtains a building and development permit from the City of Dauphin for the renovations and repairs required to accommodate the proposed use. Number two, no unlicensed vehicles or equipment will be permitted to be parked on the street. And number three, the applicant is responsible for lot surface drainage affecting the lots, and any site drainage issues are to be resolved in consultation and cooperation with adjacent property owners. Any questions or comments there? Seeing none, we'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Sobering, seconded by Councillor Daly. Whereas due notice was given with respect to variance application 12.04.19240/VO-22-01/02, and whereas no objections were received to said application, so be it resolved that variance application for owner and applicant Susan Ament for 136 Boston's Avenue to vary the rear yard setback from 1.5 meters to 0.60 meters to allow for the construction of a 20-foot by 28-foot detached garage on an existing concrete slab foundation in a residential multiple family zone to comply with the City of Dauphin zoning bylaw be approved with the following conditions. The applicant obtains a building and development permit for the garage from the City of Dauphin. And number two, lot surface drainage cannot adversely affect the adjacent property. It is recommended that it be done in consultation and cooperation with adjacent property owners. Any final questions or comments regarding that? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Sobering. Be it resolved that all items listed under item 5 consent agenda be approved as follows and form part of these minutes. Action items number 1, proclamation for International Day of Persons with Disabilities. And whereas the International Day of Persons with Disabilities has been commemorated since 1992 to promote action and raise awareness relating to the inclusion of persons with disabilities. And whereas the theme for 2022, removing visible and invisible barriers, is about breaking down the obstacles, seen or unseen, that can hinder accessibility, inclusivity, and progress. By working to remove these barriers, we open our doors to a more creative, diverse, and welcoming environment. And whereas the City of Dauphin is committed to following best practices in ensuring our community is accessible, user-friendly, and inclusive of all people's needs in order to empower and create opportunities for all people living with a disability to enjoy and fully participate in society. Now, therefore, we, the Council of the City of Dauphin, do hereby proclaim December the 3rd, 2022 as International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Item number 2 under 5A, the Christmas and New Year's closures. Be it resolved that Council authorizes and approves the following closures of city departments for the Christmas and New Year's season. That is the Friday, December 23rd, the closure being at 12 noon, and Friday, December 30th of this year, the closure being at 12 noon as well. Further be it resolved that any employee required to work during closure hours approved by this resolution be given an equivalent number of hours off on mutually agreed upon later date. And further be it resolved that if any employees' regularly scheduled days off are December 23rd or December 30th of this year, no additional time off shall be granted. And that as recommended by the mayor and the city manager. Under number 3 for 5A, be it resolved that the following water accounts be added to taxes. There's 4 here. The first one is 109 5th Avenue Southeast, $114.71. The previous tenant did not pay the final utility bill. That's the same for 102 7th Avenue Southeast, $215.71 added to taxes there. And the same as well for 115 6th Avenue Southwest. The previous tenant did not pay the final utility bill, $74.74. And on 29 Maple Avenue, $159.09. The current owner did not pay the final utility bill there as well. That all totals up to $564.25. And that is all recommended by the Director of Finance and the utility clerk. Under filing items, number 1, the Association of Manitoba Municipalities, AMM Convention Speaker Follow-Up, the Bulletin for November 25th. News releases, Thompson Mayor re-elected for the City Caucus Chair and AMM President and Vice Presidents. And Member Advisory, the Speech from the Throne. Number 2, Federation of Canadian Municipalities, FCM. The FCM Connects for November 11th, 12th, 15th, 22nd, and 24th. FCM Voice for November 14th and the 21st, and FCM Marketplace for November 21st. Number 3, Manitoba news releases, Premier and Health, the addition of healthcare professionals, Education and Early Childhood Learning Education Council, under Agriculture Food Currency Program, and the Premier unveils path to fight crime, strengthen healthcare, grow economy, and help Manitobans. Number 4, the Multi-Material Stewardship Manitoba. Congratulations on the re-election, or the recent election, excuse me. Number 5, Manitoba Emergency Measures Organization, EMO, Emergency Management Overview for Elected Officials. And lastly, number 6, the Help International 2023 Spring Shelter Belt Program. All that as recommended by the mayor and the city manager. Any questions or comments regarding all those items? Councillor Bellemare.
Just one quick question. In that emergency measures organization, of course, there's a provincial EMO office as well. And when are we required or recommended to contact the province? Is that when we're declaring a state of emergency, or what's the time period for that?
Short answer is yes. We can ask questions at any time, but we're required if we need to declare a state of local emergency.
Okay, just nice to know that we have a similar group at a higher level to lend us a hand. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Stakilo. Be it resolved that the finance accounts, having been examined by council, be hereby authorized and approved as follows. Check totals ranging from check number 30622 to 30699. That is 78 checks totaling $910,093.90. No voided checks in the current range, no voided checks in past ranges, and no electronic payments. Any questions or comments there regarding those checks? Seeing none, call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Sobering. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the following engineering report for the November 28th regular council meeting. That of the Director of Public Works and Operations for the month of November. Any questions or comments regarding that report? Councillor Bellemare.
Yes, I just wanted to point out that we got that kudo from the Department of Drinking Water, and that was wonderful because when the whole lead story was coming out and there was all these tense meetings and we were figuring out a plan and we're just like wanting to do it right, and obviously we did because the letter from the big guy saying we're doing a great job. So thank you for pointing that out, and just so our listeners know that.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments regarding that report? Seeing none, call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Stakilo, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information the minutes from the following committees. Under number 1, that is the Dauphin and District Allied Arts Council. They had regular board meetings on June 28th, September 27th, and October 25th. Number 2 is the Intermountain Watershed District. They had their regular board meeting on October 19th. Any questions or comments regarding those minutes? Seeing none, I'll call questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Daly. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information correspondence dated November 10th of this year from Honorable Eileen Clark, Minister of Municipal Relations, advising that the City of Dauphin's application for the review of the fire department operations has been approved under the 2022-23 Municipal Service Delivery Improvement Program, conditional on completion of a statement of work master agreement for services to be provided by Exchange Chartered Professional Accountants, LLP. Further be it resolved that the Council authorizes the MSDIP statement of work master agreement to be completed and signed by the City Manager on behalf of the City of Dauphin. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, call the questions. All in favor? This motion's carried. Moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Stakilo. Whereas at the regular council meeting of May 30th, 2022, and resolution number 2022-300, council accepted as information correspondence from Manitoba Municipal Relations Assessment Services confirming the annual sitting of the Board of Revision for the 2023 assessment roll on Monday, December 5th, 2022 at 5 o'clock in the evening. And whereas due to a late notification, the Board of Revision date needs to be changed to December 12th of this year to accommodate application timeliness as per the Municipal Assessment Act. So be it resolved that Council agrees to consolidate the two dates and hold the Board of Revision on Monday, December 12th, 2022 at 2 p.m. Any questions or comments there? I'll call those. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Sobering. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information correspondence dated December 1st of this year from Bev Sarconic, Secretary Treasurer for the Dauphin Veterinary Services District Board, requesting a 2023 grant in the amount of $10,554.01, with the first half of the 2023 appropriation in the amount of $5,277.01 to be issued in advance. Further be it resolved that Council forwards this appropriation request from the Dauphin Veterinary Services District Board to the 2023 budget deliberations. Any questions or comments there? Seeing none, call those. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Ray. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information a memorandum dated November 21st, 2022 from the building inspector regarding a proposal to subdivide PT Southwest quarter section 14-25-19 WPM lot 4, 5, and 6 plan 51506 DLTO. That is 216, 220, and 224th Hawthorne Avenue for owner Dr. Jillian Ungarian, Medical Corporation, care of Jillian Ungarian, and applicant Balkan Ellen Kelchicki Surveys, care of Greg Molnar, Community Planning Services, file 4411-22-7719. Application 22178. Further be it resolved that Council approves the subdivision application for the property as described above with the following conditions. Number 1, a conditional use be obtained in accordance with the City of Dauphin zoning bylaw 04/2015 to allow the construction of 2 family dwellings which are listed as conditional use in a residential single-family zone. Number 2, variances be obtained where applicable for any residential 2-family bulk table yard setback requirements to comply with the City of Dauphin zoning bylaw 04/2015. Number 3, the cost of the new service connections and extensions will be the responsibility of the property owner. And number 4, lot surface drainage cannot adversely affect the adjacent property. It is recommended that it be done in consultation with the City of Dauphin and cooperation with adjacent property owners. Any questions or comments there? Councillor Bellimer.
Just a comment, because this is going to be 6 new homes in the north end of Dauphin, and then there are 4 new homes on Bond Street with that new construction that's happening. So it's just great to see that new places are being constructed.
Indeed. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Daly, seconded by Councillor Bellimer. Whereas each year council reviews the council appointments for committees and boards for the next term, and be it resolved that council approves the 2023 council committee appointments that as outlined in Schedule A. Any questions or comments regarding those appointments? Didn't think so. So saying that, call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Sobering, seconded by Councillor Stakilo. Be it resolved that council accepts this information. Correspondence dated October 4th, 2022 from Lori Hickaway, Administrator for the Intermountain Watershed District, regarding the City of Dauphin's appointees for the Vermilion River Sub-District. And further be it resolved, the council appoints David Boziak as the city's representative for the Intermountain Watershed District, Vermilion River Sub-District for a 1-year term starting on December 1st of this year. Any questions or comments there? Seeing none, we'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellimer, seconded by Councillor Daly. Whereas 11 community members have stepped up to participate in a Citizens on Patrol program in Dauphin, a community-driven initiative that could not be more timely given recent increases in property crime, mischief, loitering, and vandalism as we emerge from the COVID-19 pandemic restrictions. Be it resolved that council accepts this information. Correspondence dated November 15th, 2022 from Richard Ives, LPQ, Asset Protection / Safety Manager for Dauphin Consumer Co-op, requesting a letter supporting an application to Dauphin Neighborhood Renewal Corporation for a grant to assist with the inception and operation of this Citizens on Patrol program in Dauphin. And further be it resolved that council commends Mr. Ives and Dauphin Consumers Co-op for spearheading the campaign to recruit COP volunteers, wholeheartedly supports COP as an important piece of the complex crime prevention puzzle, and authorizes a letter supporting COP's application to DNRC for funding to make this initiative possible. Any questions or comments there? All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Bellimer. Whereas the Building Sustainable Communities Program grant helps to build thriving, sustainable communities that provide a high quality of life for Manitobans, funding up to 50% of eligible project expenses to a maximum of $75,000. And whereas the Almost New store, located at 220 Main Street North in Dauphin, is a not-for-profit secondhand store that contributes to reusing and recycling household items that would otherwise end up in the landfill, and also is a supported training center that supports employment services for individuals requiring supported job training. Be it resolved that council accepts this information, a request from Bertha Davis, chair of the board of directors for the Almost New store, for a letter supporting the Almost New store's application for a BSC grant to assist with costs related to the installation of a new sloped roof on the building and the addition of an annex to house waste bins, to prevent vandalism, and to provide a more secure drop-off space. And further be it resolved, the council commends the Almost New Store for its role in extending the life of used household items while providing valuable supported employment opportunities in our community, and approves a letter supporting the Almost New Store's BSC grant application for funding for renovations that will enable the store to continue to provide these important services. Any questions or comments there? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Stikilo, seconded by Councillor Sobering. Whereas council approved the purchase of a pickup for the utility construction foreman in the 2022 budget, and whereas the city of Dauphin posted a request for proposals for the purchase of a new truck for the utility construction foreman, and be it resolved that council accepts as information a memorandum dated November 23rd, 2022 from Director of Finance advising that 8 proposals for a truck were received from 3 local dealers, and recommending the purchase of the following: a 2022 Ram 1500 Classic Crew Cab 4x4 to be purchased from Kerry Fillions Twin Motors in Dauphin for a cost of $50,279 plus applicable fees and taxes. And further be it resolved that council agrees with the recommendation from the Director of Finance and approves the purchase of the 2022 Ram 1500 Classic Crew Cab 4x4 truck from Kerry Fillions Twin Motors in Dauphin for a cost of $50,279 plus applicable taxes and fees, supporting our local businesses. Any questions or comments? All those, all in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Be it resolved that bylaw 09/2022, being a bylaw of the city of Dauphin to prescribe fees, fines, and charges for municipal services, be now read a first time. Questions or comments regarding that bylaw? Call those. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Daly, seconded by Councillor Stikilo. Be it resolved that bylaw 10/2022, being a bylaw of the city of Dauphin to establish and regulate a code of conduct for members of council, be now read a first time. Questions or comments there? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Sobering. Be it resolved that council accepts this information. The community event listed below, we did not have any invitations, so just one community event, and that is for Mountain View School Division's 2023-24 pre-budget consultation, and that is happening next week, December 5th, 2022. Questions or comments there? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. And moved by Councillor Stikilo, seconded by Councillor Ray. Be it resolved that council accepts this information. The councillors' reports for the regular council meeting of November 28th, 2022. That is tonight. And I will start to my far right, if he is ready, of course, Councillor Daly.
Thank you, Councillor Laughlin. Was ready. As I find my report, I will read it.
Councillor Ray, if you're ready, you can fire off if you want. We'll go back to Councillor Daly.
Sure.
Perfect.
November 14th was the last regular council meeting, which I attended. On the 15th, I was present at the meeting here with the RM. November 21st to the 23rd, I attended the 2022 AMM conference in Winnipeg, which I found very informative, interesting, and quite beneficial to me as a new councillor. And tomorrow I'm looking forward to my first committee meeting with the Active Living and Transportation Committee here at noon. Thank you. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Councillor Ray. Councillor Daly, fire away.
Thank you. Yeah, since the last meeting, I've completed and submitted the campaign financial report, submitted the declaration of assets as required, attended the informal meeting with the city and RM councils and senior staff, attended the protective services meeting, which was very positive and informative meeting. I really enjoyed that one, and looking forward to working with this committee going forward. Completed and submitted the code of conduct course with council and senior staff. Also attended AMM. As Councillor Ray said, it was an excellent experience. I was also grateful for the opportunity to ride on the city float in the parade on Saturday. Great job by staff to decorate the float, and I want to thank Grant for safely getting us through the route and off again. And I'm excited to be working with committees in the upcoming weeks and months ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Daly. Councillor Bellemare.
Thank you. On November the 15th, we had coffee with the RM Council, so that was our chance to have introductions and our first conversation together. On the 16th, I attended the Protective Services Committee and met our new sergeant, Scott Linkslater. And unfortunately, the RCMP lost the food drive again to the firefighters. I think that's 3 years in a row, so maybe next year they'll be the winner. Thank you for the community support too for the food drive for our community. On the 18th, I attended a community foundation event, and congrats to Bonnie and Miles Haverluck, who were honored as Philanthropists of the Year. They certainly have been supportive of many community projects. I also attended the conference that my fellow councillors have mentioned. Great opportunity to learn new information, to network with other councillors, and hear interesting speakers. And we attended as a new council team, which enabled us to get to know each other better and to discuss new ideas together. And we also sat with the RM Council at an evening meal, so got to know them. Another opportunity for us to get to know each other. This weekend, there are going to be 60 Christmas trees lit up for the first time in CN Park. So setup is happening on Saturday morning, and Sunday evening at 6:30 is the big lighting. So you may want to attend. There's still a few trees available for sponsoring. So see Councillor Steve or give him a call at Pathways Funeral to confirm that. And congratulations to the organizers and participants in the Santa Claus Parade, and also thank you to the DRCS staff and community members for all the beautiful Christmas lights in our community. It looks very beautiful, and it's just uplifting to have that at this dark time of the year. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councillor Bellemare. Councillor Stikilo.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Lachlan. For myself, I attended regular council meeting on the 14th of November. And then on the 17th of November, we had our quarterly airport meeting. And we're able to discuss a few items that were of importance for sure. I too just want to thank the organizers of the Dauphin Winter Parade. Unfortunately, I was unable to attend just due to some scheduling conflicts, but it's always a good event to have and be part of for sure. So I just want to thank everybody for that. And that ends my report this time. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Stikilo. Continuing around the horn here, I'll go with myself. On November 14th, I attended the regular council meeting here at City Hall. On the 15th, I too attended the meet and greet with the rural municipality of Dauphin here at City Hall. A great little get together. Nice to hear and see all those other faces. On the 17th, I attended the Dauphin Airport Authority meeting here at City Hall. First time on that committee. Really looking forward to learning much more about the airport over the coming months. I too, like many of the other councillors, attended the Association of Manitoba Municipalities Fall Convention in Winnipeg. Just a really good get together there with all the other municipalities. Saw so many other familiar faces and met some new ones as well. So just a great few days down in Winnipeg. On the 24th, last week on Thursday, I had the Communities in Bloom meeting here at City Hall as well. Looking forward to move forward with that group. And I too attended the Dauphin Parade of Lights on Saturday with a handful of councillors. Again, it's been mentioned, but congratulations to the organizers on a fantastic job. That was one of the most well-attended parades, not just from a float perspective, but from a viewer perspective as well over the past number of years. So that's great to see. Great to have that parade back since it's been about 3 years. That does it for me. So I'll move to my left with Councillor Sobering.
Thanks, Deputy Mayor Lachlan. I attended the November 14th City Council meeting, and the next day, Tuesday, November 15th, was quite busy. I attended a economic development committee meeting from 12 to 1:30, after which I attended the rural municipality meet and greet with the RM Council and staff. Then that evening, I had a Dauphin District handy van meeting where we met and got to know that committee as well. And we, following that, on the November 18th, I attended the Dauphin District Community Foundation dinner, where Miles and Bonnie Haverlick were acknowledged as Philanthropists of the Year. And I believe Mr. Peter Sklopovich was also acknowledged for his winning the previous year, which was unable to be held due to COVID. And the next, I submitted my declaration of assets. I completed the Code of Conduct course. I rode on the city float at the Dauphin Christmas Lights Parade, and it was lots of fun, and it was a great evening. It was good to see people out there. Got to say our first Merry Christmases, which felt a little weird, but and then following that, I was also at the Association of Manitoba Municipalities conference from the 21st to 23rd. And that was just full of information and meetings and just getting to see the other communities, RMs, cities, and their leaders. So it was a really, really positive experience, lots of learning, lots of networking. And this concludes my report.
Okay, thank you very much, Councillor Sobering. Before we get back to the mayor, I'll throw it over to our youth member, Emma Fox. What do you got for us this week?
So I attended the last regular council meeting on November 14th. And then on November 16th, we had a student council meeting where we discussed what we're going to be doing for the Christmas activities this year. So we've decided we're going to do an Adopt a Family. We're going to take part in the Adopt a Family Foundation. So we will be taking in donations for families throughout the month of December. We're also going to have a food drive from November 28th to December 9th. We will be receiving food for each different grade and handing that over to the food bank when that is completed. We're also creating Christmas cards for the care homes throughout our community. And that's about it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And I'll hand it back to Mayor Boziak with his report.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Lachlan. I won't go through the list of all the meetings necessarily that I attended, but I just wanted to let folks know that with me being back on the Economic Development Committee, that opened up a chair around the table. So we were able to appoint another citizen representative, and that happens to be Joe Houston. So he's a new member of that committee, and that committee also had a number of subcommittee meetings recently to deal with the accommodation tax and other things. So I'm glad to see that committee is running full steam ahead. I also had the opportunity to meet the new director at Assiniboine Community College, and we had a really interesting chat and a good chat about working together in the future. Carol Stewart, she's still working remotely from London, Ontario, but she'll be moving to the city sometime in next year. And so I'm looking forward to that opportunity. And I also want to acknowledge the work that went in on the weekend with the Christmas light parade and also Christmas at the Fort. I was there and chatted to Dennis Forbes and Tom Van Bugenhout and a few other folks at the Fort and seeing the good work that they're doing. And then just to reaffirm our attendance at the Association of Manitoba Municipalities convention, I think it was really interesting to note that 46% of all newly elected councillors and heads of council are new. So almost half of all the elected people in municipal government in Manitoba are beginners or fresh off the truck, and are going to need some assistance moving forward. But there's a tremendous amount of energy And that was also very apparent when we attended the city caucus meeting, and 6 of 10 mayors of the major cities in Manitoba are also all new in their positions. So there's a tremendous amount of energy, and that was reflected. I think Dennis Volkov, the director of AMM, was indicating how there was a different kind of energy at the convention this year, probably because of a 2-year hiatus, or last year's convention was, affected by the pandemic. So it's just really interesting to meet a bunch of new people, meet some others that I've known in past lives or other lives. And it was interesting to, to talk to them about what the future holds. So I'm looking very much forward to working through AMM and with AMM. And I just want to also just finally, as I close, to give a shout out to staff here at City Hall. I know that they made my transition in this first month very, very smooth. I'm overly impressed with the preparation that's put into place. So it seems like I'm just basically signing a bunch of stuff right now. So certainly want to get more involved as we get into it. But there's a real pleasant vibe here in the building. And I think that both with council and with staff, that there's a real desire to get some work done. So I'm really looking forward to this first year of our mandate, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. And with that being said, moved by Councillor Daly, seconded by Councillor Ray, be it resolved that the council meeting be recessed at 5:47. Thank you very much and have a great night.